everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I am going to share with you our homeschool journey and how we ended up homeschooling. So this is our first year of homeschooling. It's an idea that we had discussed years ago. Just for reference, our daughter is in 8th grade this year. This is our first week. As I speak, she's sitting out here with me doing schoolwork. And she started school. She started here in our local home district. She did kindergarten and 1st grade there. By November of 1st grade, we knew that it wasn't the right fit for her. And how that came about was that her 1st grade teacher had concerns that she might have ADHD. So we went and met with a developmental pediatrician, had her evaluated, and she didn't have ADHD. She was gifted and bored out of her mind. So we decided by November of 1st grade that for 2nd grade we were going to seek other opportunities. So the two options that were on the table were homeschooling or a magnet school. Magnet schools here, you have to apply. It's a lottery, so there's no guarantee. So we decided if she didn't get into a magnet school that we would homeschool. Well, she did get in, and she went to that magnet school, the elementary school, for 2nd through 5th grade. It was a phenomenal school. Honestly, I don't have a bad thing to say about it. If she could have stayed there through 12th grade, then she would still be there. It was amazing. The teachers challenged her. You know, their way of teaching was very hands-on, project-based. So it really encouraged her to learn, think outside of the box, and use more skills than just, you know, writing pen to paper. She did art, and she did research, and she did dance, and it was amazing. So we figured we had such a great experience there that we would continue within the magnet school system. And we applied through the lottery. You have to do the lottery again when they go from 5th to 6th. And she got into her first choice, which was supposed to be one of the best schools in the state and in the country. And however, that wasn't our experience. So some of the issues that we had in 7th grade, that some of them carried over from 6th grade as well. 6th grade wasn't nearly as bad as 7th grade. But 7th we had lots of bullying, we had lack of communication. Both years she wasn't challenged at all. I mean, this was supposed to be a super rigorous school, and like that was actually one of the things that we were a little concerned about going over to, that it might be too rigorous for her, and it wasn't. It wasn't challenging her at all. She straight A's, didn't really have to put forth much effort. So, you know, we had all of that. Communication wasn't that great. When I went to the school about the bullying issue, it really wasn't addressed. And I actually had to send communications to the superintendent, the principal, the vice principal, letting them know that I knew what our state laws were that protected my child, and that I was ready and willing to take those steps because they weren't taking any action. Things didn't really change throughout the year. They talked to the bully, and they would talk to her, and she would stop for a couple weeks, and then it would start ramping back up. They would talk to her again, ramp back up, and that cycle continued the entire year. Then the pandemic hit, and they shut down schools, which they did across the world, and she came home and had distance learning. And we anticipated issues with that because, let's face it was brand new for teachers, something that they weren't prepared for, something that they weren't really experienced with. So we definitely gave them grace and understanding. However, there were a few things that were concerning, specifically her math teacher. She, on the first day of distance learning, let me preface this by saying that they had a set schedule. They were supposed to have a Zoom meeting on specific days at specific times. And the math teacher, now this is an honors math class, so the teacher held a Zoom meeting on the first day that they were scheduled to. And because a lot of students there weren't any questions, she decided to not hold Zoom meetings going forward. So from the middle of March, when they shut down, through the middle of June, she didn't hold any Zoom meetings. She didn't hold any like class teaching time, and the only thing that she would do is she would create a short video for a few minutes, send that out. That was their lesson, as you could say, and then they had work to do. And if they had questions, they had to meet with her during her half hour of office hours, which I found incredibly frustrating because these poor kids, they're not in a classroom. How can they go and ask questions? So I reached out to the principal regarding that, and it went nowhere. That was it. The explanation I was given was the one that I just told you guys, and nothing. So that was a little frustrating. On top of all of this, our daughter has anxiety, and she has struggled with that since she was 2. And we found that when the pandemic happened, she was less anxious. With the world seemingly collapsing around us, she was less anxious because she was home. And that for me was a big sign of, okay, you know what, this is probably what we need to do. And she had been asking all year long she wanted to be homeschooled, so it wasn't a topic that we weren't discussing prior to. On top of that, because she goes to a magnet school, I would drive her every day. If she were to take the bus, she would be on the bus an hour and a half one way twice a day. And so she had to get up early as it was in order to get ready, eat breakfast, get everything, get herself ready, and then drive there. So she was getting up like 5:30, 5:45 every morning, and that was tough to go to school, do a full day, have extracurricular activities, come home, have homework, eat, shower, and it wasn't leaving her enough time to get a good night's rest. So it wasn't healthy for her in that aspect. So the only thing that was really holding us back from homeschooling was me. I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to do it. And when the pandemic happened and the shutdown and all of that, we decided, you know what, let's give it a shot. And so while she was doing distance learning, because they were only doing it for a short period of time each day, I added in a few traditional homeschool curriculum things to see how, she would handle it, how I would handle it. And we found that, yeah, we could do it. So all of those, reasons, I guess, collided, and we decided to homeschool. And so we knew before the school year was even over that we were going to be homeschooling. So within a week of the school year ending, we sent in our formal withdrawals, and she was officially a homeschool student. And this is our first week, and we've actually really been enjoying it. I feel like she's being challenged. I feel like she's learning. She is obviously missing being with peers, and we plan to add in like co-ops and outside sports and outside classes and all of that, but right now those aren't happening because of the pandemic. But even if she were in school, the kids aren't being allowed to socialize, so she wouldn't have that benefit even if she were in school. So we're just going to see what happens with that, and when the world opens back up, we'll join a co-op, get her going, playing volleyball again. She'd like to do some more art classes, so that way she'll be with peers. She wants to do piano as well, so we'll sign her up for all of those, so that way she's still getting that interaction and learning as much as she can. So my next video is going to be going over the curriculum that we're using this year. I'll do a quick flip through, let you know what we think of it so far. It's only been a couple days, although some of it we did start using, like I said, when the shutdown happened. So we can give a little bit of some information, a little bit of a review on it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like, and please subscribe and follow us on our journey as we share more about our little moments. Thanks. Have a great one.